of Epic. So Epic sits within the Martin James Foundation, and as you can see, there obviously Martin James Foundation's mission on the screen there. So the Martin James Foundation is an international charity. So we support, or the foundation supports, institutionalized young people across the world. So we've got affiliates and programs in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and other parts of the world. Epic is the UK kind of component of the foundation. So we support children, young people within the West Midlands area at this moment in time. There is some ambitions to kind of expand beyond the West Midlands, but at the moment it's just the West Midlands because we're a relatively new programme, which I'll explain a bit more about in a moment. The Martin James Foundation and also Epic in that manner sit under the Martin James Network. So you may have heard of the Martin James Network, as you're obviously from Edgbaston. We have an office in Vicarage Road in Edgbaston. So the Martin James Network, again, I'll speak more about the network through my presentation, but it is a collection of businesses, companies that all sit under the one kind of network. They're all independent. They all got their own CEOs, their own processes, policies, and colleagues under each team. And the network, along with the foundation, support Epic. So let's just get into who Epic are and what we actually do. So I'm going to start with a case study, just to kind of give you an idea who Epic are and what we do. So this is Mo, and Mo came to the United Kingdom with his father from Yemen when he was 11. So not long after Mo came to the United Kingdom, he was placed in foster care. So Mo came to the Epic project, or the Epic program, sorry, from the Birmingham Children's Trust. And he was referred to us through the Birmingham Children's Trust. So Epic supports disadvantaged young people. And for a number of years now, we've had a partnership with the Birmingham Children's Trust for supporting care experienced and care leavers from the trust. And like I say, Mo was one of those young people that came through that kind of partnership. As you can see there on the screen, Mo was very interested and wanted to start a business in animation. He's been doing animation pretty much his whole life. He's always been an artist. He's always drawn. So Epic supported Mo to take his business idea into reality. So as you can see there, we supported him with setting up the company, trademarking, website, financial and business planning. And going back to what I said earlier about the Martin James Network, within the Martin James Network, we have something called Talkout. So Talkout is a social media app. So through the network and the connection to the network, Talkout works very closely with Mo to create his business and kind of take his business further. Mo has recently taken a step back from his business because he's now investing his time into studying computer animation, and he's currently at Teesside University. So he's just completing, or just about to complete, his first year at university. Mo is obviously going to take those studies and obviously develop his business and also his understanding of animation even further, and he'll be picking it up full time again once he's completed his degree. So going on to Epic, and again, who we are and what we do. So I very briefly mentioned there about Mo, but we support disadvantaged young people aged between the age of 16 and 25 years of age. So care leavers or young people that have faced adversity. We want all our young people to come to us displaying these qualities, and you may see the link there between Epic and the letters there. So energy, passion, innovation and commitment is what we like all our young people to come to us with. But alongside that, they come to us with a business idea. So moving on from that, so I mentioned Birmingham Children's Trust very briefly again with Mo. So I joined the Epic team back in September. And my job is to continue to grow the awareness of Epic, what we do, who we support, and create the connections and the links across the West Midlands region. What that means for us here at Epic is that Birmingham Children's Trust, Sandwell looked after children, care leavers team, St Basil's, community centres, youth clubs, any foster carers, anybody that's engaging with young people. I'm looking to speak to, looking to engage with, and looking to grow the message about who Epic are. Once that message has been kind of given to the teams and people across the West Midlands in terms of organisations, we ask for some time to then speak to some young people within their organisation, their programme, and their connections that they've got, to raise awareness to young people directly. So young people take ownership of their journey here at Epic. So young people contact us through email, through Instagram, which is spelled wrong on that screen. I've just realised I need to change that. We also have a website, which young people contact us. When a young person contacts us, on that form, it's got their name, contact details, and some more information about their kind of their family, the reason, very loosely, they are disadvantaged. So if they're a care leaver, if they're a low income family, if they have got learning disabilities or additional support needs, all of those are kind of found on the form for us to kind of see, to kind of meet our criteria. And the big chunk at the bottom of that form is their business idea. So they'll tell us more about their idea, more about their inspiration, more about the whole journey for them in terms of their business. So some people come to us on the form and say they'd like to start a bakery business, and that's all they put on the form. Through to, we had somebody recently that put on the form their entire journey from the idea to what they've done to kind of promote their business, their Instagram accounts, the audience, how they want to grow their business, what support they need from us. So it's an open box for them to give as much information to us about their business. We then engage with the young people over the next kind of 2 to 3 weeks, over the phone, over Teams, and also on a face-to-face basis, gathering as much information as we possibly can about the young people, what support they need from us here at Epic, and also more about their business in that kind of time. And then they come to us right at the end and then present in a panel. So we ask them to put together 5 or 6 slides for them to tell us more about their business and what they do. The screen stopped working. There we go. So I'm going to share a little video. So David and I tried this earlier. Unfortunately, Taylor, who you can see on the screen here, her lips move at a different speed to the sound. So I do apologise. I did try 3 or 5 times to get this video to work. So here's Taylor's message about Epic. Oops, it won't play. Hold on a second.
This time you can't hear her at all.
One second. Let's try again.
Hi, I'm Taylor, and Epic have inspired me to pursue my dream of being an entrepreneur by believing in me and supporting me in my business. They've given me the confidence to take the next steps and always help me dream big with my business by thinking of new possibilities and opportunities.
Did that work?
Just about here.
Okay, apologies. I'm not quite sure why that's all of a sudden gone really, really quiet. So anyway, that's Taylor. Basically, Taylor was hopefully you can hear a bit of that. Basically, Taylor was sharing with her some of the support that Epic have given her. So let me introduce Taylor. So Taylor has created the idea of something called Enviro Tent. So she created Enviro Tent with her classmates at school. And as the name hopefully suggests, it is an environmentally friendly tent. It is a cardboard biodegradable tent that's used as alternatives to the fabric tents, canvas tents a lot of people take to the festivals and gatherings. So Taylor is currently working with Epic and also other people outside of the programme and the network. So she's currently working with a designer and a manufacturer. She's getting legal assistance around trademarking and IP for her product and also for her brand. She's also working with angel funders around investment into the product. And also she's working with a logistics company that will transport her product from the warehouse where she'll be having all the products to the festivals or to the events or to wherever the tents need to go. All of those connections that Taylor has currently got now came through the Epic connections and also through the Martin James network. So we've been able to engineer connections for Taylor, and we do that for every single young person that comes to the program here at Epic. So you can see on there some of the ways in which we support. So every young person receives a grant. That grant is up to £500. We very much at Epic are at the startup for any young business. So the startup grant that we give to young people will be used for trademarking. It'll be used for website domain, website design, registration of business, and also things like samples or the first stock that a young person may need to kind of start their business. It's a very small grant, but as I mentioned about Taylor, we are also there to give them access to external funding. So we will support them around funding bids if they're a social enterprise, or to find investment from capital investment, venture capital, angel funds, whatever it might be, to then accelerate their business. And also work with other agencies, so like Prince's Trust, enterprise model, startup business loans, whoever it might be, to then generate more income for their business if that's what they need to do. And we'll support them on that journey. Epic supports young people through one-to-one coaching, mentoring, and also group workshops. And I'll talk a bit more about the workshops in one moment time and the kind of the coordination of the program. Epic and the Martin James Network gives opportunities to these young people through our connections, through local authorities, through our networks, that they would not or may not have had without the programme, and obviously getting their business off the ground from those very early stages. We support the young people obviously when they come into the program itself, which I'll talk about in more detail, and also after the program. So once they graduate from our program, we're there to support them, guide them, signpost them, more learning, more knowledge for these young people as they grow and develop their business. And as you can imagine, the more and more people they engage with through our program and also outside of our program means that they're going to get a bigger and bigger and bigger support network. And that's what this is all about, giving them the opportunities for personal and professional development and using the business as kind of a vehicle for that.
Hi, I'm Taylor. Epic inspired me.
So this is a mock-up of our program. So our program lasts for 3 months. So we work on cohorts of 10, and our program over the 3 months hinges around a number of workshops. So some examples here. So young person comes into the program in March, which this happening this year. So in March 2022 and in September 2022, 10 young people will come into our program. They'll do business planning, marketing, financial planning, trademarking, and legal planning, and then a specialist workshop. Each workshop will have some pre-work, which the young people will do before the workshop, and then afterwards they will need to do some post-work, so branding and marketing plan, financial plan and budget, business registration and accounts, and a final business plan. And this is the way that our program is engineered. So they do some pre-work, do a workshop, and then at the end of it they'll have some post-work, and this is all about giving them the startup tools, the knowledge about how to to get a business off the ground and get it running. Throughout the whole program, there's myself and my colleague Ade, who are the EPIC coordinators. So we'll be engaging with the young people through the whole process from beginning to end, whenever they leave the EPIC kind of sphere. Throughout, they'll have one-to-one coaches. So each of these workshops, as you can see there, has got a name against it. So Luke, Amanda, Teresa, Pat, Ian, Faye, they are the one-to-one coaches which will support them individually on that workshop. They'll also have assigned to them a pastoral mentor, and also a coach, a business coach that will run through the whole program with them. And after 3 months, they'll get the business launch, like I said, and obviously then the next stage of the business begins for them. The specialist workshop, which I'm just going to touch on now, as it says there, so food safety and etc. As I mentioned, we have the Martin James network. So we have the Holy Moly Macaroni restaurant, which is part of that network. We've got a virtual reality company. We've got a social media app. We've got an interior design company. We're working with Evershed Sutherland in terms of legal. We've got an accountancy firm. We've got a fashion brand. So all of this may be used in the specialist workshop for a young person to be matched with somebody that's already running a business that may match their business that they want to launch, or we try and match it as closely as possible. So that's how the program runs for us. And as I said, every young person graduates from the program and can still access everything that I've just spoke about there and more after they've graduated from the program. So I'm going to talk about another young person. So this person's called Shai, and he's created Nombre. So I'm sure you can read that there. So I'm just going to read a bit more about Shai. So Shai said, "I always knew that I wanted to work for myself. I used to sell drinks and chocolate at school and became one of the top sellers." Shai told us when his son was born, when Shai was 15 years old, that gave him a lot more purpose. He wanted to provide for his young son, and felt that at that moment that's when he woke up and he grew up. So he kept pushing and he kept striving, because he knew where he wanted. Shai knew where he wanted to be in life. So Shai has been designing and sewing since he was 8 years old, and Shai is now 24. Yeah, it's his 24th birthday. So Shai joined the EPIC program to access business mentoring and the grants, so he could realise his dream. Shai went on to say that EPIC has helped me in a lot of aspects, ranging from financial support, major connecting, which has been very beneficial for me in many ways. So you can see here, in terms of the program, we engage with Shai in terms of business planning, financial planning. He was already in touch with suppliers, but then we went one step further and introduced Shai to a professional fashion, who's the ex-lead editor at the Vogue, and in turn that then led Shai to be introduced to a number of industry contacts. Shai is due to launch Nombre officially at the London Fashion Week this year. So Shai has done amazing things, and his clothing is still top secret, but I'm absolutely sure, knowing Shai, that his clothing is going to be absolutely amazing, and we really look forward to seeing it out there in the world. So that's introduced some of the young people and the program. Coming back to why I asked to speak to you this evening, I'm speaking to lots of other different people, is we're asking to kind of for people's support to get Epic out across the West Midlands. So young people, without young people on our program, we can't run a program. So I'm engaging with, as I mentioned earlier, like Burgle Children's Trust, Sandwell Children's Trust, St Basil's youth centres, community centres, foster carers, anybody that's engaging with young people. We're looking to kind of speak to them and obviously raise awareness of Epic, and obviously therefore then support the young people on their business journey. So alongside that, we're also looking for businesses. So as I mentioned earlier, we're part of a network of businesses, but as you can imagine, each young person comes to us with a different business idea that sometimes we haven't got within our network, we haven't got in terms of our connections, and we have to work a bit harder. So we're looking to kind of broaden our network, broaden our awareness of Epic R, broaden in terms of people that know who we are, so that then we can keep momentum going and keep the transition for young people, and build a support network for young people across the West Midlands, and also wider than that, really, to try and engage young people and grow their business. So we're looking for coaches, we look for mentors, we look for specialists in a certain industry or a certain sector, to try and engage with the young people, really, and just trying to raise awareness of who Epic are and what we do. Just going to do one more case study, and this is really relevant because Renee has literally just launched Tressamore. So I've mentioned about what Epic do and what our connections do. So Tressamore again and Renee are one of our success stories along with everybody else. But through our network, we were able to get Renee the opportunity to meet with a top echelon celebrity makeup artist and model called Kelly Licorice. So if you kind of aware of how a lot of these businesses work at the moment, so it's about influencers, it's about who can kind of who will market your brand for you, and you give them products, or you sometimes obviously pay them to do that. So Kelly was that person for Renee. Kelly, being such a top model that she was, basically modeled her product, the hair extensions and the wigs, and then word very quickly got out about Renee in that kind of circle. Kelly then put Renee in touch with somebody called Ian Winstanley. Ian Winstanley is, as it says, a top UK photographer. Ian Winstanley allowed Renee and the models to use his space, to use his expertise in his environment, and it gave Renee an opportunity to really push her brand out there, really push the whole marketing. Ian took some amazing photographs, which you can see on Renee's website, and that then allowed for a lot more kind of exposure for Renee. So again, an amazing success story for Renee and also for Epic.
Hi, my name's Renee, and I'm currently working alongside the Martin James Foundation. The Martin James Foundation are helping me start my own business in what I love to do, which is hair. And with this, I soon will be providing hair extensions as an online business, and hopefully just expanding this further. So far, they are helping me develop my business by supporting me in aspects needed to get this business up and running smoothly. This support includes things like branding experts, website development, mentoring, and overall financial expertise and grants. These are currently our main focuses, but will expand further once progress has been made. My overall end goal is to get my business up and running smoothly and for it to be successful, profitable, and booming.
Renee was meant to come across the screen then, so you can actually see her in the middle, but I'm not quite sure I didn't move, so never mind. Obviously, so that was Renee. Obviously, that clip was taken a while ago, before she during the summer, so slightly out of date, but we need to get Renee to update that, but gives you an idea of kind of Renee speaking more about Epic. And I think this is my last slide. It is indeed. So yeah, so that is Epic. That's what we do. That's some of the young people we've supported on our program. And thank you very much for for allowing me to speak this evening, more about EPIC and more about what we do here in the West Midlands supporting disadvantaged young people.
Thank you very much, Mark. That was very interesting. And now unmute our president.